Hello everybody, I'm going to be showing you in this tutorial how to do a simple jet sort of thing. Just watch, here it is pretty much. I'll play the whole thing. This will be your final product. So that wasn't very much, but it took probably 30 minutes or so because I am kind of new at this program, as you probably will be watching this tutorial. And it's not a perfect edit because for one, to add the sound, that would take probably hours to find the sounds that I want and everything. But this is actually really simple to do this. Just just take some patience if you're not the maybe not the techiest person, if that's a word. I don't know, but it's pretty easy. I'm not gonna show you to do the muzzle flares because that's. I mean, I probably won't. But if you want to, if you want me to do that, then leave a comment below. And let's get started. So I'm gonna save this real quick, and then open up a fresh After Effects. Okay, some tips for After Effects is to be as organized as possible, because the more organized you are, the easier your project will be, pretty much. So I'm going to import my pictures, which I just got off of Google. So import them by double clicking the project panel over here. Or you can just go up to File, Import, obviously. And I'm going to get the jet. And I'm going to open that file. And I'm going to get another one. The sky file. The sky picture. Here's sky. I'm not going to actually do the second plane because it's pretty much self-explanatory if you see the first one. So first of all, I'm going to drop our background layer, which is the sky, down into a new comp. So here we have our sky, just a picture of the sky. And yeah, that's about it. So basically we import our jet into the picture, the frame also. And resize it because that kind of looks a little fake. Resize it. That looks about right there. So you'll also see that the big blue box around it, that is because it is not keyed. So let's go to our effects and presets and type in color key. To do that, we're just going to drag this effect over to this frame of the video. And color key, this little dab tool is probably the easiest way. Click on that, click on this, color, and let's mess with some of the settings so it looks perfect. That looks good. That looks really good. So we now have our keyed jet. So from here on, it's going to be so easy. Literally, I think the only difficult or part that you may find hard is going through the cloud instead of over it, because it looks kind of crappy if it's just over it. But it'll actually go through the cloud, behind it, pretty much. So let's start by animating our jet. So place your jet outside the frame about where you want to do the flyby, and just place it outside. Then go down here to your jets on the source, like your jet source, and drop that down, and drop this transform panel down, and go to position and click this little time watch next to position on the left, and that will enable keyframing. So you'll see that little button. So first of all, we're going to start it off here with this position. You can also mess with the scale if you want, if it's getting closer to your screen, pretty much. But for this, that is pretty unnecessary. So jets are pretty fast, so I'm only going to move ahead a couple of seconds, a couple frames, and I'm going to change the position by dragging my jet. You'll see the little string attach and end it outside the frame. And what's cool about After Effects is you don't have to key every single place it's at. Like, it's pretty much does it automatically. So right here, and let's see how it flies by. Let's see if it's too fast. That looks, I mean, it looks kind of fake, but we haven't added sound or anything yet. But so that's about it for that. Let's close this. Let's actually rename this layer just so we can be a little bit more organized. Like I said, Jet. And instead of JPEG, I'm just gonna name it Sky. And you can rename if you didn't see by right-clicking, going to rename. So now we pretty much just have the basics of our scene, which is a very easy part. So if that's all you wanted, then just click off the video, but there is the part where it goes behind the cloud now. So we're going to go up to layer. We're going to add a new layer, which is going to be a solid layer. And we're going to just name it so we, a little bit better. We're going to name it cloud. Just because to be a little bit organized. And make this make it comp size. So you click on that and click OK. Now you'll see this big, humongous box that will cover up your whole scene. So go down here to where you make the visibility with the eye and just unclick it so you can't see it. So make sure you're still clicked on that layer, and you're going to go up to the pen tool, and you're basically just going to draw a nice mask around this cloud. Just make sure you get all the blue out. So you don't really have to do it too perfect because we are going to feather this, and feathering with clouds makes a pretty good effect. So we won't really need too good of a mask. We can just do a quick mask. But if you are doing trying to do this project maybe for like a film school or whatever you're doing it for, then you may want to do a little bit better than I did. And if you mess up, you can always go back up here to this selection tool once you have completed your mask. And you can easily just move these mask points wherever they're needed. That looks about fine for now, perfect. So if you were to watch your jet go by, it will look really crappy because this is not feathered. So we're gonna go down here to this arrow. We're gonna open up that and go to open up the masks. Open up mask 1 and feather, mask feather. We're just gonna feather it quite a bit. Around, I would say 70 to 80. Let's see how it looks first. So now you may be like, that's all? Not quite. We're going to go down here to jet, and we're going to do an alpha inverted thing, which if you don't really know where anything is, I'll just show you right away, or how help is good if you're in After Effects. So alpha inverted. So it'll basically show you where it is if you search it, which is under layers, track matte, and alpha inverted matte. I'm going to click on that while your jet is clicked down here. So yeah, make sure it's clicked, and now it should look, yeah, see how it's going behind the cloud? Sound design for this type of a scene is actually pretty difficult unless you have the right sounds, if you know what I mean. So some like nice sounds would be good for this to make the scene look a little bit more realistic. You can also chroma key the scene to make it look maybe more cinematic. That's about it for this tutorial. I'm gonna actually show you how to export this into any movie file you would prefer. So I'm actually just gonna go to the end where the jet is passed, or wherever the end of your scene is, and I'm just gonna grab this end, oopsies, put it back right here, fine, that's fine, and I'm gonna grab this, which is pretty much your comp time, pretty much, I don't know, but I'm gonna drag that to the end, because this is the part it's gonna save. It's not gonna save anything out here, unless it is extended out, so I'm gonna save it right here. So if you want to, I prefer if you're doing VFX, you'd probably want to make sure that is perfect if you're doing it for a film school, like I said. I would watch it many times, maybe zoom in a little bit, but this looks pretty good. Let's actually watch it with this. Up here on the right was the RAM preview, which that looks pretty fast. So actually how to slow your jet down once it is once the points are once the points are pointed for the jet, you can actually slow it down by going to your jet, clicking the down menu thing, going to position again, making sure that is clicked, and you can actually spread the distance between each keyframe point. So here, it'll actually slow it down a little bit. Let's watch that. That actually looked pretty good. I'm going behind the cloud. So that looked pretty good. So that's it. And that. So we only have 3 layers here, but if you saw my other one, I did have multiple layers. That's because I added a second plane and some muzzle flashes, which if you want to know how to do muzzle flashes, it's very easy. Just tell me. I could easily do muzzle flash for you guys. So now, if you don't already know how to do the render or export your video, I would prefer this way. If you have the Creative Cloud membership with the Adobe Media Encoder, I would go up here to the composition, go to add to Adobe Media Encoder once you're finally done with your project. And I would definitely recommend saving it. So it's going to ask me if I want to save it. I'm just going to name it YouTube. Why not just do that? I'm going to save it to the desktop too. And save. So that'll save to wherever you choose as a After Effects file. So I'm just going to, don't participate right now. So see how it is this is just one that I did earlier, but this, you should only have one right here, which is your project. You can actually go to preset and you could change the type of file output you would like. And I would prefer, but it really depends on what type of file or what you're doing with this video. I prefer HD 1080p 29.97 frames per second. But if you're doing it for YouTube, I would definitely do YouTube because it actually affects the upload speed, I'm pretty sure. So, 29.97. And you go up here to this play looking button and it renders it. And the render for Media Encoder is pretty fast. It is almost done, and it is done. So basically to watch your video, you click on this, which will actually, it's a link to your file location. And you double click it, obviously, to open it. And there we have our jet flyby. So thank you guys for watching. Just ask for some tutorials if you need any After Effects help. Thank you for watching again, and subscribe.